What up, Dokkanners? We received a data download last night for the upcoming EZAs. JP currently has the data download as of me recording. Global does not. But if you want to know exactly what time these EZAs are going to be dropping, simply click on the new Dokkan Wiki. Link is in the description. Go to settings, click on Global or JP. Like I said, right now, Global doesn't have the data download, but they will. So either way, you will see exactly what time it drops for you. For me, it drops April 9th, 10 p.m. PDT. So I will be going live a little bit before that so that we can get those EZAs and maybe we can test them out on stream. Now, the good news for those of you who have been struggling on some very specific missions that dropped during the 10th anniversary, I want to just remind you that those missions are going to be much more achievable with these two EZAs. So let's start there. Going back to the 10th anniversary battle part 2, there was the infamous corroded body and mind mission. And back in the day when I did this, I recorded this live. A lot of people were very upset because they were jealous at how lucky my rose dodges actually were. And to be fair, they were pretty lucky. And because of that, I was able to clear that event with minimal issue. But a lot of other people have not been able to get so lucky. So the good news with the Tech Janemba EZA is that you're going to have to be far less reliant on stupid RNG like that to get through it. So just want to remind you, you guys can get this mission done in a little bit more of an easier way now with Fat Janemba. If you want to watch the video, just look up Corroded Body of Mind on the channel. And then also the other one is the Otherworld Warriors category mission on the Goku Story Red Zone Stage 10. So I pulled up both these missions here. This is Corroded Body and Mind. This one, I don't know if this one is as big of an issue for some people, but maybe it is. I mean, you never know. Maybe you don't have the LRAGL Gogeta. That might be a problem if you don't have him. So if you need more pieces to fill out the roster, well, these guys are now going to be able to do that for you. They're all pretty good, including the sub EZAs, which is just wild. That's not something we're accustomed to seeing. So good news there. Bad news, not a whole lot going on this week for Dokkan. Unfortunately, it's going to be kind of bare bones because the last thing that we've had was the Ultimate Clash and the Dragon Ball Story event, Androids in Action. After that, there's nothing for 7 days. And after we come out of 7 days, it's just Pikkon, which for most people is not content. If anything, it's a nuisance. So there's really not a lot happening during this celebration. Normally, Dokkan going through its ups and downs, that's common. But I feel like they can be better at managing or spreading out the content. It just feels like they kind of front load sometimes and then they just kind of fall flat, right? They need to do a better job of spreading things out. With these EZAs, that does help a little bit with the gap in between, but it's way more skewed in favor of the 7th, right? So after the 9th, 10 p.m. PDT, we still have 5 days until anything else happens for now, right? So as far as when part 2 is going to be starting, if for those of you who are thinking that because the EZAs are coming soon, maybe we get a part 2 soon, I don't personally think so. I don't think part 2 is going to be coming until at least the 15th of April, because remember, every part is basically 2 weeks. Cell dropped at the beginning of April, right? March 31st, 5 p.m., which is basically April 1st. I'm recording this on the 8th of April. So we've done basically 7 days. We still have another 7 days in order to hit the 2-week mark. It doesn't have to be on the dot 2 weeks, but it has to be somewhere within the vicinity, right? Maybe 12 days, maybe 15 days, something like that. So with the stone sales ending on the 15th, that seems like a more reasonable place to expect the part 2. And if we reverse engineer it, if that's going to be day 0, day -1 would be the data download, day -2 would be the Twitter reveal, which would be the 13th. We still have time. So it's not going to be for a few days. Things are going to be a little bit on the slower side. But like I said, those EZAs should help you get through some of the older content if you're struggling. And if you're not, and you're just waiting for more stuff, well, I don't know what to tell you. Let's go through the data download information posted by Proton. Shout out to Proton. Follow him on Twitter at Proton10mg. Okay, thank you. Pikkon Battle 39 and Extreme Z Battle Otherworld Edition. That's it. That's all there is. That's all that we got. Now, let's talk about the big problem here, because I do think that this is a problem. We have one Extreme Z Battle for 2 Dokkan Festival EZAs. Now, in the past, when we have had issues like this where people were unhappy with the fact that they were consolidating 2 EZAs into one event, case in point, the Destined Rivals series, Goku and Vegeta dual Dokkan festivals throughout the ages. These guys getting EZAs on the same banner or on the same event rubs some people the wrong way because they see it as getting less stones for what should be something that we are constantly given 34 or 33 stones for. The thing is, this is an ongoing series that has always been this way. So I'm a little bit more forgiving when it comes to that sort of thing. GT Super Saiyan. We have the Super Saiyan 4. Actually, no, that's a singular LR. Although these guys should technically be, you know, on a similar event. But we've got like Goku Vegeta here. We've got Goku Vegeta here. This is Destined Rivals 7, Destined Rivals 8, Destined Rivals 6. Where's the last one before that? It's actually been a little while. When was the last Destined Rivals before the Super Saiyan 2s? I don't even know, but whatever. That's been a thing. I think that's been the only thing. They also combine like a bunch of random EZAs, like the GT people. They had a bunch of like the Fierce Battle 7 or something like that. They don't do it all too often, but they do it because those characters sort of fit an overarching umbrella. So it's kind of nice to just consolidate them into one event from time to time. But now it seems like they're starting to do this more regularly, with the last one being the Dual Dokkan Festival Android Cell Saga units. These guys are now on the same event, and we only got 34 stones, which is basically how much you get for one EZA. This rubs some people the wrong way, myself included, because I don't think that this is the way to be doing this. If we want to assume that the reasoning behind this is to save the Dokkan players time by having you only do one event as opposed to two, I can respect that and I can appreciate that. But my issue with this is that they are not having the rewards be the same amount that you would get for doing these events separately. If we were to counter by saying the LR EZAs, you know, have shortened the time. So if you're worried about time consumption, just shorten down the event. They also take the opportunity to compensate by giving you 3 stones each stage, right? 30 stages for a TUR, 1 stone per stage. 10 stages for an LR, 3 stones per stage. You're getting the same amount. So if they are willing to compensate for the LR EZAs, I see no reason why they can't do the same thing for these sorts of EZAs. This is the Otherworld edition for combining 2 Dokkan Festival EZAs that should normally be separate. If you counter that by saying they will give us those stones in other ways, that may very well be true, but it's more about the optics of it all. I personally feel like it's a better look for them to simply just give those stones right here. I don't think that there's any reason for those stones to be given elsewhere when you can just as easily put it in here. Because if that's the case, why not do the same thing for the LRs? Why does it have to be 3 stones every stage? Let it be 1. Let those stones be given to us elsewhere. So I'm sort of having a bit of an issue with this personally, but let me know what you guys think. I know that some people feel very passionately about this, some may not feel. Am I making a big issue out of this for nothing? I don't know. I just think that this is annoying. I'd like to believe that they would give these stones elsewhere, but this doesn't affect me as much as it would affect those who spend less on the game or who are free to play, right? I'm a whale, so I probably don't have as much to lose here, which I understand, but I still feel like in principle, it's better to practice this stuff this way rather than, you know, be a little shady about it, because this doesn't look good. It may very well be we're getting the same amount of stones, fine. This doesn't have a good look. So if you guys have issues with this, I would recommend that on the next survey, you make this a big focal point of your feedback. Don't be destructive, be constructive in your criticism. They will not respond. They will ignore if you say you're dumb, I hate you, fire Omatsu. None of that's gonna work. If you give constructive feedback, telling them to give us the same amount of stones for these doubled up EZAs, you have a better chance of those changes actually being made. Because for all we know, this is exactly why they did this. Maybe they did this because a lot of you guys mentioned that you hate doing all of these EZAs and how long it takes. Maybe they did it because of that. Who knows? So enough rambling there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below if you guys agree or disagree. Now, as far as next Super Easy is going to come up, I want to throw this out there because I saw a couple of comments and it reminded me of this. So shout out to you guys in the previous video who commented this. We have not had a Super EZA since the beginning of March for the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. This was during the Daima EX celebration, right? This guy released March 5th, 2025. It has now been a month since we've had our last Super EZA. Generally, we have had a Super EZA at least once a month. So we're coming up on the point where we should be expecting it at this point. And I think, I was thinking this, but I was reminded of this recently with some of the comments in the recent videos. We could be looking at an Int Super Gogeta Super EZA. If you guys recall, back during the 10th anniversary, we had the Training in the Clouds event, whose items that you could purchase in the Baba shop using those proof of masteries, they would reset the, not reset, but they would upgrade the inventory on occasion. In that inventory upgrade, they dropped a few characters who had nothing to do with the celebration at all. They dropped AGL Royal Blue Vegeta. They dropped, wasn't it Physical GT Super Saiyan Goku? I think they dropped his equips, but then they didn't drop the Vegetas. And then they also dropped this guy, Int Super Gogeta, also got some unique equips. Now, it's not exactly clear why they did it this way and why they only gave some of those characters. Like if they were going to give GT Super Saiyan Goku, they could have given the Vegeta ones as well, or vice versa, whatever they did. So since this guy's an Otherworld Warrior, and since it appears Otherworld Warrior is sort of the direction that they're going with this next part of the celebration, these guys are still tournament participant characters, so it still works within the theme. If they're going to be doing all that, then I think that a Super Gogeta Super EZA would actually be a very good thing, because this is not only going to further bolster the Otherworld Warriors category, but it's also going to make these two missions, or actually this one, a lot more easily achievable, right? So I think that if they're going to make a significant push for the Otherworld Warriors category, might as well go all the way. Give this guy his Super EZA. We've got those unique equips at this point. Might as well give it to us. We're overdue. Being an int character will kind of skew the recency in favor of like STR and int. We've had more int Super EZAs recently than anything, with the second most being STR. So I would like to say, you know, one of these, or maybe even a physical Super EZA would be nice. But if we look at the Otherworld Warriors category, I don't think that there's anybody else who is more deserving of a Super EZA than this guy. Maybe you could start to throw in like the mono characters, but I don't know if we're there yet, right? I think they're going to wait for the mono Super EZAs until all of the older EZAs are taken care of. So yeah, nobody else here comes even close. Yeah, nothing. It's got to be this. Like that is the only answer. So yeah, give us that Super EZA. Maybe not during part 1, maybe during part 2. We'll see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on all the things that we discussed in this video. What are your thoughts on the whole like consolidating EZA things? Do you think that they're going about this the right way or the wrong way? Is there any other detail that I missed in this discussion? And what are your thoughts on the various EZAs that are coming up? Are you looking forward to the new look Otherworld Warriors? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more content of the future and click the notification bell so that you let you know you want to see more of myself do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned, and remember to Dokkan responsibly.